Okay, good morning, everyone. Very happy to see you again. You still have a patience to sit here and listen to the difficult and philosophical Dharma talk. I hope you can gain something that you can apply to your daily life and benefit yourself and others. And this is my hope. So before today's talk, I would like to quickly recap the key point from day three. Sorry. Yesterday we covered some heavy material. In particular, we looked at worldly or conventional truths. In conventional truths, there are three kinds of conventional constructs called conventional constructs by name, compound, and nature. These categories aim to help us gradually break through conventional constructs and be able to realize the transcendental or ultimate truth. Concerning ultimate truth, worldly knowledge does not properly investigate it. When one awakens to the ultimate truth, it is a personal experience which can only be achieved through insight meditation. This insight meditation essentially focuses on investigating whether intrinsic nature exists. When one applies right view to investigate intrinsic nature, one will realize there's no intrinsic nature at all. Ordinary beings have ingrained conceptual fabrication in our mind, and this causes us to incorrectly perceive things and assume there is intrinsic nature. When we can eliminate conceptual fabrication, then erroneous perception and discrimination cease and prajna can arise. So these are some key points from yesterday's talk. Today we will look at the key elements of cultivating wisdom as one practices both tranquility and insight. The verse here describes the process through which one realizes the ultimate truth. The verse says, through the insight that there is no inherent self and that nothing truly belongs to a self, one contemplates both internally and externally to transcend conceptual fabrication, and then completely ends all discriminations. This is when the ultimate truth is realized. Investigating the lack of intrinsic nature in the self is called insight into the emptiness of self, while investigating the lack of intrinsic nature in phenomena is called insight into the emptiness of phenomena. Therefore, the Mahaprajnaparamita Sutra says, because attachment to all dharmas has ceased, Prajna Pramida arises. Also, the ex- exegesis on the perfection of great wisdom says, that to which language refers ceases, and an object experienced by the mind ceases. The unborn and unceasing nature of truth is like nirvana. When prajna, that yields true realization, arises, one can awaken to the true nature of all dharmas. This true nature is also called nature of emptiness, nature of dharmas, dharma realm, truth, and so on. All these terms are notional names. One should know that the state of realizing truth transcends all erroneous discriminations and attachments. Such realization is beyond time and space and cannot be measured. What one can awaken to is the absolute truth beyond realities. The Shravakayana practitioners and the Bodhisattva both cultivate the insight that there is no inherent self and that nothing truly belongs to a self. So what then is the difference between their realization and practices? In terms of the realization of the nature of non-discrimination, the Avasamtaka Sutra says, this is a wisdom attained by both the Shravakayana practitioners and the Bodhisattvas. In addition, the Prajnaparamita Sutra also says, the Shravakayana practitioner's wisdom of ending afflictions is equivalent to the Bodhisattva's deep understanding of the truth regarding non-origination. However, Bodhisattva has their bodhival and great compassion. They dedicate their merits to benefiting all beings, and based on the strength of their initial vow, they work extensively to deliver sentient beings from suffering. So it is clear that there is a difference between the cultivation of the Shravakayana practitioners and the Bodhisattvas. Namely, differences are evaluated based on their vows and practices, and not based on wisdom and understanding. Although it is generally said that Buddhist practitioners all realize the same nature of non-discrimination, there are some differences. On the one hand, Shravakayana practitioners eliminate the attachment to self and that which belongs to self, and their hindrances that arise due to afflictions. On the other hand, Bodhisattvas not only rely on the wisdom of emptiness to realize non-discriminating truths and eliminate afflictive obstructions, but also attain extensive and profound realization of the emptiness of all phenomena, thereby abandoning all mistaken perceptions and eradicating even the subtlest traces of afflictions. What Bodhisattva realized is Buddhahood, which embodies the purest practice of sightlessness, and the perfection of the purest Dharma realm. Therefore, the attainment of Shravakayana practitioners cannot be compared to the attainment of the Bodhisattvas. So you can see the differences, okay? This next verse summarizes the key elements of cultivating wisdom as one practices both tranquility and insight meditation. The verse says, through the insight that there's no intrinsic nature, one contemplates and abides in emptiness. When tranquility and insight function simultaneously, one then skillfully realizes the nature of stillness. If one wants to learn and practice prajna and awaken to the ultimate truth, one must first discern in detail the existence of conventional constructs and how their intrinsic nature is unobtainable. In this way, one can establish a steadfast right view where emptiness and conventional existence do not abstract each other. Existence of conventional constructs and emptiness or no intrinsic nature are mutually supportive and do not impede each other. Therefore, the ancient masters teach that dharmas seemingly exist but are ultimately empty of intrinsic nature. Ultimately empty but seemingly existent. Okay, so establishing a right view that ultimately there is no intrinsic nature, while not rejecting the manifestation of all conventional constructs arising from causes and conditions, is the key practice of the wisdoms of learning and contemplation. When one undertakes the practices of learning and contemplation without meditative concentration, such wisdoms are still at the stage of discernment without tranquility. When one's practice of tranquility attains a state of bliss and peace, this indicates the accomplishment of right meditative concentration. With right meditative concentration as a foundation, one can then undertake insight practices to develop the insight of emptiness. At this point, one takes emptiness or no intrinsic nature as the object of focus in meditation, which is called the mental object for insight meditation. After a duration of insight practice, one uses emptiness or no intrinsic nature as the object of focus to settle the mind. That is to practice meditative concentration, in which the object of focus is called mental object for tranquility. So the object is the same when we practice insight meditation or tranquility, okay? Note here, during the tranquility practice, the mental activity has no active discernment. So insight meditation and tranquility uh, are different approach, okay? After the mind has settled down, one then returns to insight practice. In this way, one alternates between insight and tranquility meditation practices, both of which adopt emptiness or no intrinsic nature as object of focus. Once the wisdom of practice matures, the mind becomes tranquil, lucid, clear, and pure, just like a clear sky without any clouds at all. At this stage, all dharmas reveal emptiness. This means that upon investigating all manifested phenomena, one finds that no dharma truly exists. Instead, all dharma are like illusions or mists. When the practice of insight is about to accomplished, one should ease off on the effort exerted, and when the strength of insight causes state of bliss and peace to arise again, this marks the accomplishment of insight meditation. From this point, tranquility and insight function simultaneously, which is called the dual functioning of tranquility and insight. This is where the insight wisdom of non-discrimination and the tranquility of non-discrimination mutually cause each other to arise. At this stage, both insight and tranquility are well balanced, and one's power of insight is profound and extensive. Then finally, even the sign of emptiness as an object dissolves away, and one can skillfully realize the nature of stillness where nothing arises. At this point, prajna, or the wisdom of non-discrimination, arises. The exegesis on perfection of great wisdom says, Prajna Paramita can eliminate all incorrect views, afflictions, and conceptual fabrications, and guide one to the ultimate truth of emptiness. Additionally, the Mahayana treatise on the jewel held in palm says, what the eye of wisdom sees is transcendental. The consciousness-only doctrines also teaches that the path with right view of discrimination is where one lets go of all sides. This wisdom of ultimate emptiness that transforms ordinary beings into sages is universally accepted by all Mahayana schools of India. So this is the final verse. Okay. The last verse is obviously praising prajna, namely the virtue of prajna. And so the verse says, so excellent is the true prajna, so wonderful the true prajna, through which liberation can be attained. Relying on transcendental wisdom that is unrivaled, all virtues can be perfected. The method to cultivate prajna paramita has been discussed. This is the gateway of non-duality for an ordinary person to become a sage. Therefore, prajna is especially praised as excellent. This genuine prajna is what the Buddha himself attained and then revealed to us through his teachings. This prajna differs from the understanding of ordinary people and non-Buddhist practitioners. It is also distinct from the resemblant wisdom of Shravakayana and Mahayana practitioners, which still involves subtle forms of attachment. Prajna is unique and distinct from worldly wisdom because it enables sentient beings to resolve the fundamental problem of cyclic existence and thereby attain liberation. The ultimate empty nature of all dharmas is profound and difficult to comprehend. Only through prajna can sentient beings realize it. This truth transcends anything worldly scholars could conceive. Thus, prajna is truly worthy of praise. Only through prajna can true liberation be attained, which is unlike the non-Buddhists who still harbor ignorance or think that rebirth in the heavenly realm is liberation, or mistake the deep meditative concentration states to be liberation. From this, we should understand how wonderful and excellent prajna is. It is said in the Heart Sutra, because bodhisattvas rely on prajna paramita, their minds are free from all attachments and hindrances. Without attachments and hindrances, they experience no fear, are liberated from erroneous views and delusions, and ultimately attain nirvana. Likewise, all Buddhas of the past present, and future depend upon Prajna Paramita to realize an Uttra Samyak Sambodhi, the ultimate awakening. Okay. The virtues of uh, Nirvana shared with the Shravakayana uh, practitioner and the virtue of great Bodhi that are unique to Mahayana all rely on this. Also, all rely on this transcendental wisdom that is unrivaled. Only through prajna can one perfect all virtues. Therefore, it is said that prajna paramita is the profound Dharma, um, a, a profound Dharma treasury of all Buddhas. If one learns Buddhism but does not cultivate prajna, then it would be like entering a treasure trove but leaving empty handed. So, this brings us to the end of this year's talk on Madhyamaka and the cultivation of prajna. Given we have covered one major Mahayana school over the last 3 years, it is good idea to review all the teachings if you want to clarify the differences between the Madhyamaka, Yogacara, and the Tathagata schools. I hope that this year's material was not too heavy to you all. Venerable Yin-Shun has very kindly explained the steps to cultivating prajna through the three wisdoms and the details of the insight and tranquility practice to accomplish the wisdom of non-discrimination. Such a teaching and explanation is a valuable treasure that we should all cherish. So, finished. So, any question? We still review some information we mentioned yesterday and the day before, right? So, I hope repeat this Dharma teaching, you can get some deeper understanding and realize how we can practice the prajna. Okay. Yeah. So you may wondering when can we attain the transcendental wisdom, right? Don't worry, just practice. And when all the right causes and conditions come to be, we will be there. Okay. So don't have the expectation. Yeah, don't have the expectation. This also a kind of attachment. So without any expectation, just do it. It's not a yeah.
Specific, like after you calm down, with the object of focus,
Yeah.
you settle, your mind settles, and then you alternate between insight and tranquility.
You were asking, we focus on the emptiness as an object. We practice the insight meditation. It also can calm our mind down.
Plus,
Not only the tranquility meditation. Yeah.
no, I just wanted to see if like, because I wasn't exactly sure how much calm you need from.
Oh, okay, I know. Yeah. Yeah, I just mentioned when our mind attain a certain tranquil state,
Okay.
the state of bliss and peace arise. You will you experience this. And the first time this arise is when the tranquility achieved. This is the second time. Yeah. So when the insight meditation cause the state of bliss and peace arise again. So this is the point where the wisdom of practice accomplished. And after this, we practice the, how can I say, dual, dual functioning of insight and tranquility, right?
I should probably ask you up there.
Yeah, yeah. And finally, because we use emptiness as object, so there's a sign as an object. When the sign of emptiness as object dissolves, the prajna arises. So we see the transcendental truth. So this is the process. When you are in this point, you know where you are. Okay, like you see the map, and there's a sign you are here.
Well,
Clear.
the object is emptiness.
Yeah, so the meaning. So we need to contemplate or to, how can I say, so, to contemplate or sort of consider, uh, uh, contemplate. Yeah, we usually say contemplate the meaning of contemplate. And we have a understanding of emptiness. With this understanding as the object, we we further investigate the meaning, and we know that we realize the emptiness further. That's the process. Yeah,
Still gonna have to ask you.
yeah, yeah. You need to practice, and you know what I'm saying.
Make sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good, good. You this is very good question. Yeah, I have to say. Yeah, any other questions? A bit deep, but we need to practice to verify what I am talking about. Yeah, this is from sages' teachings. I just adopt their wisdom and share this teaching with you. So we need to practice and realize what this teaching means. Yeah, yeah, very good. And we have a sort of uh, sign that shows we are on the right track. What is it? When we are on the right track toward the realization of transcendental truths, we become more compassionate, and we become we have, how can I say, a deeper wisdom to understand the Dharma and deal with the issues with the people around us. We know how to deal with the issues. Okay. So we don't bother by these annoying events or situation. Okay. So you always keep calm and happy or something like that. Yeah, but not always. Sometimes I still get frustrated.
It's like feeling lost. Remember I said about going the wrong way or something?
Yeah, you need to approach spiritual guides to ask whether you are on the right track. It's very important. Always ask your teacher, or the teacher we trust. You trust. Okay.
Plus, sometimes you can't think of how to describe what you're saying, even, you know? sometimes it's difficult.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, you mean you difficult to find a a good spiritual guy, you mean? Okay.
Well, it's just that when you talk to them, maybe you're not being specific sometimes, you know what I mean? You get lost that way, even with the right person.
Yeah, come to Bodhi Monastery. Yeah, maybe someone coincidentally come to meet you, and that person is you, good spiritual guy. Who knows? Yeah, and do your best and practice. Sometimes we need to practice repentance. Repentance? Yeah, that will help us to clean our mind and develop the merits so that we have better chance to come across good spiritual guides. Yeah.
It's just not like you experiment and try one person and then another, really with no direction. That wouldn't be good.
Yeah, all ring fei. but not but not at mid at night. Don't ring at mid at night.
Else tried that, but I
Okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can email to the foundation. Maybe someone see your email, you see your question, and can give you a, a good answer or the answer you need. Okay.
yeah. But I don't know if Faye's not there, what would I do? No. She does check with me. That's right, I was insanity she does.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, try all a method you can, and one of the approach will give you a feedback. Like to buy a lottery, buy a lot of lottery, and you can win one.
That's a good combination. If you could actually do that, would be great.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So if you don't have any question, I will. Uh, I would like to practice this transference of merits. Okay. So this is the final session of this class. No, not this series of class, my class. Okay. So so please follow me and join your palm. I sincerely dedicate the merits gained from learning the Dharma to all beings.
Sincerely dedicate the merits gained from learning the Dharma to all beings.
May they gain true happiness and freedom. May they walk the path to liberation to Buddhahood. May they always truly be safe, well, and happy.